Hey guys, this week we're imagining being on the mountain.
We're back on the mountain. We're going to imagine we're there with this big crowd of people on top of the mountain waiting to hear Jesus speak.
He's going to give a sermon on the mountain, by the way, and Jesus told the crowds about God's kingdom on this mountain. Now you can think of a kingdom as the way the world works or is set up. In God's kingdom there's abundance. More than enough honor, food, money, love, power, and resources for every child of God to thrive.
Yes. All right, today we're going to read Matthew 5:11 and 12. Jesus says, "Blessed are you when people revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account.
Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven. For in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you."
Yes. Jesus ended the beatitudes with a strong word of encouragement for us and the crowds. In these final words of Jesus' blessings, Jesus again said his followers would be blessed when they face persecution. He knew this might be one of the toughest, hardest things, keeping people from living out of God's abundant love.
It really doesn't make any sense, but you know what? Jesus told his listeners it wasn't a matter of if they were persecuted, but when. He knew when they tried to follow and live out his teachings that they would lose friends, they will be disliked, they hear people say bad things about them, or they experience other kinds of harm as well.
Yes. And we know that to follow Jesus is to face what he faced. And Jesus experienced all of these things. But the good news is that we are never alone.
That's right. In this beatitude, Jesus pointed to the prophets, amazing and dedicated leaders who sided with the voiceless and the powerless.
Yes. They faced a lot of persecution.
We are joining with people from the ancient past, the recent present, and people from all over the world today. We are joining with children, teenagers, adults, and other adults. We join with people who want to create a world where people can live freely and without fear. But we have to do it together.
Yes. We also need to keep humble hearts and attitudes because there might be times when we misunderstand and we persecute others.
Yes.
Yes. Sometimes we are the ones on the wrong side of a decision. Can you believe that? We are always learning and growing, and so sometimes we might be wrong.
Absolutely. Everyone has different experiences and perspectives. When we don't understand why someone does something, that we need to ask questions rather than make judgments.
Yes. Jesus told us to rejoice when we are persecuted. Does that make sense to you? Do you rejoice when people don't treat you well or people act rude to you or say things bad about you because they don't really understand you? That's not easy.
It's not easy at all. But Jesus reminded us that when we make brave choices, even if they are unpopular choices, we are creating a world that looks more like God's kingdom.
Yes, like God's home. We also have a whole family of faith who is with us. People who followed God thousands of years ago, and people today who are with us as we follow in faith. And that is worth celebrating and being part of.
Absolutely. I hope you guys are having a great day today, and we'll